How's everybody doing? Good evening. Good evening to everyone. We will wait a couple minutes more to get a few people on the feed. Good evening to everyone. Apparently, we posted at 5 o'clock that we are going to be live. It's 4:59. Hopefully, we will see more people right now arriving to the feed. Good evening. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. We're live today. We're live in Tijuana, Baja California. It's 4:59 right now. 4:59 in the afternoon. Partly cloudy today. Not that many traffic. Our city is changing. You don't even imagine how much. Our city has changed in the vicinity of a complete change. Traffic, more people, more insecurity, less security for us, and less opportunities, and whole bunch of problems of poverty, and whole bunch of problems of all types of things. And it has to change, and it's not going to change. And unfortunately, we are going to have, you know, more like 2 to 5 years of the same government with the same governor. That is one of the things that is more amazing, that is never going to change. So I will wait a couple minutes for people to get on the feed and people to be on the feed, and also for people to join in as we are waiting for more people. And I'll wait a couple seconds. More people can join. Welcome everybody. See if we can wait a little bit, just a couple minutes more. Let's discuss. How's everybody doing? Can you say hi in the chat room? People are gonna say, "Man, Oscar, you were on time this time, man. You were on time this time. You guys want me to be on time? I'm on time, man. I'm on time. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5:01, and people are coming in now. Can you share, people? Share so we can start and we can get more people on the feed involved. This is a great interview with Giovanna Gallo. She is from a law firm in the United States. And we are going to have a great interview with her right now and talk about immigration issues, that those are the most concerning ones to every single one of the United States. We're going to talk about the loopholes, how the loopholes are affecting, the United States, and what are the possibilities for this immigration, for this immigrants that they're coming and they don't know that there's a 3% chance, a possibility to get into political asylum. They don't know that, and they're coming on a limb. They're coming on this expectation that it's going to get better, that it's going to that's going to open doors for everybody. So let's just talk to her and see how this interview goes. I'm waiting for a few people to get on the feed. I don't know what happened. Probably our post didn't reach, a lot of people. But we said that we're going to start at 5, so let's just start, and people can watch it a little bit later. And as as we were talking, this is a situation that has been going on for apparently 10 months. We have 10 months of this immigration situation in our country and in our city, and it's affecting the United States in a way that economically is affecting, but most in that, the immigration system in the United States, is being affected completely, 100%. No, they're using a loophole to cross to the United States. That we know the necessities of every country, and we know the necessities of every immigrant, but they don't know what they're doing. and they don't know that they're basically, a lot of them are breaking the law, and there's a lot of immigrants that they want to do things right. A lot of immigrants that they want to do things right. And we have on the line, uh, a very intelligent lady. Her name is Giovanna Gallo. She is from a law firm in the United States. And, it's better to go and talk to the source to see if they're doing things right or not. And we already know that regarding immigration, but, we need to know from a lawyer's standpoint, what do they need to do? So I want to welcome Giovanna Gallo to the show. Giovanna, thank you very much for being with us and to give us this, this little interview to explain what is happening right now in terms of immigration in your country of the United States.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much. I want to ask you a question that, practically is a question that involves all of this. What are the possibilities for these people to get the asylum? Because a lot of them think that they have a gigantic possibility, and a lot of them think that they're going to arrive to the port of entry, the United States, and everything is going to be okay, and they're going to enter, and there's all these things that they're going to give them, but it's not like that. So can you elaborate a little bit on what are their possibilities to get the asylum from these people from Central America, South America, Asia, Middle East, Africa? We got people from all parts of the world.
Yes, okay. So I believe that number one, we must understand what asylum consists of. And I guess there is a misconception because when people run away from their country, there are several reasons why people may be running from their country. And some of them perhaps are running from poverty, perhaps they're running from the criminal situations in the country. But asylum has to do with you proving a credible fear of persecution in their home country. But this is based on race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group or political opinion. This doesn't have to do with you wanting to better your life in the United States. So now we must also understand how asylum has been done within the past years. And now that we are facing this current situation of immigrant caravans and all these people, coming in the thousands to trying to cross the border and request asylum, is that perhaps we are paying attention to what exactly asylum is all about. And when situations like these come around, unfortunately, we're surrounded by people that take advantage of the situation. Unfortunately, they do, because they use the need of these people. They perhaps provide the wrong information to get a benefit for their own, and are sending people to believe that you just need to come to the border, and you will be allowed into the country, and you're going to be living in the United States, and so forth. Several of these people have spent thousands of dollars attempting to obtain a residence into the United States, and
wow.
Perhaps they never reach their goals. So it's not everybody can obtain asylum. Not everybody is considered a refugee in order to have the doors open for them and their families. So I believe that that's where we should start, understanding what asylum is all about.
Yes, I believe that the thing that you just said, and that is the thing that is real difficult right now, because all of these people that are coming, they don't understand why they're coming. They're just fleeing away from their country because a lot of them are economic migrants. A lot of them are economic migrants, but they don't know what the purpose of asylum means. And that is what exactly you're explaining. Now, I want to ask you another thing. Immigration law in the United States has a lot of loopholes, unfortunately. And they're using this loophole that is, if you're carrying a minor, that it doesn't even matter if it is yours or not, you have possibilities of getting the asylum now. And also, if you were deported from the United States and you marry another woman that wants to ask for political asylum or asylum, they can get into the United States. It is so amazing.
Well, all this arises again from the misinformation that people receives, and this is what it has to do with. We must know that these loopholes come from. There is a Florida Settlement Agreement and the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act, and those were established back in 1997, 2008, in order to protect immigrant children and the prevention of human trafficking. So, but we must understand, I mean, we always had people coming to the United States, request asylums, and asylums have been granted. And unfortunately, there is children also that arrive to these borders. And of course, children are treated differently. And the United States laws are to protect those children. So these agreements, these acts came into effect in order to provide that protection. But again, people misunderstand, misuse those benefits. And now, instead of explaining that those are to protect those children, now people send parents and say, bring your children to ensure that you are granted access to the United States. And they put these children in risk. They don't know what are they going to be living once they are detained. They must understand that things are changing. And because these people is coming in thousands, of course, there is no resources to handle all these people at once. Detention centers were not established to take thousands of people at a time. The courts that don't have the resources to take cases in the thousands in a short period of time. So obviously, those things have to be adjusted in order to accommodate the new needs.
And right now, what is happening, Giovanna, is that because they're flooding the courts of people crossing through the mountains, jumping the fence, and they're crossing by thousands, the asylum seeker line is holding back. And when the number gets to the United States court to get the asylum, it backfires on them because they think, oh yes, I'm just got here 1 week and that is going to be okay. But no, they're flooding the courts in the United States by crossing illegally through mountains, and they're surrounding themselves to the Border Patrol, and it's really difficult for other people to get the political asylum number because they're flooding the courts. Now, the other question that I want to ask you is that there's nonprofit organizations that they're working over here. As your lawyer's perspective, and this is, I believe that, I think that you just, you work hard for your money and you try to do it as much as legal as possible. Where God say you're a lawyer. So if there's a nonprofit organization over here giving legal advice in our city, in Mexico, in Tijuana, they need to have a permit to do so. I believe so. And also, they need to, if you're practicing law in another country, that's wrong because you need a permit. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. As a perspective of the lawyer's perspective.
Okay, so we must understand that United States and Mexico, they have a treaty. And a lawyer, let's say a United States lawyer, can come into Mexico and give an advice in a matter of their competency. It's different to practice law in Mexico for a foreign lawyer. What that means, if I'm assuming if I were to come to Mexico and because I'm a lawyer in the United States and I attempt to practice Mexican law without being having all the credentials, then I'm breaking Mexican rules, because in order to practice law in Mexico, I have to have several requirements.
Exactly.
Same thing as a Mexican lawyer. A Mexican lawyer can go into the United States. However, there is additional registration process in the United States for a Mexican lawyer, can register with a bar, and can provide legal advice regarding Mexican matters. That means that a Mexican lawyer cannot come to the United States and give advice regarding American issues because he's not licensed in the States. But as a Mexican lawyer, can go, there is a procedure, and can give Mexican advice in the United States. So perhaps the legal advice is allowed, the practice of law is different, and so there is that thread between these two countries. Now, people must understand that even though me as an attorney in the United States, if I were to give legal advice in Mexico, I'm still barred by California bar. I'm an attorney in California, which means I still have to comply with my rules wherever I go when I give my advice. So if the consumer has to be protected, so if I were to give advice, I still have to subject myself to the bar rules in my state, and people should know that.
That is unbelievable, because we got, and I'll be honest with you, we have a lot of lawyers over here that they are, they're giving legal advice, but they have like legal contracts, and it's just like, okay, they're telling them you should go to these offices and listen how to migrate, and they're not registered. And I think and from my point of view, I think that is wrong, Giovanna, because it's a disrespect for like lawyers like you and lawyers in Mexico also, and not only that, the Constitution law in Mexico.
Right. So I would agree with you, because I believe that in this case, we're talking about migration, but it applies to any practice of law. Our purpose is to advise someone as to what they have to do to reach the goals. And this issue about migration and asylum is a very sensitive issue that involves so many things around.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, as a lawyer, we have a duty. We have a duty to advise these people properly, where their interests are above my own interests. So I'm unaware of these organizations you're referring to.
Oh, no. I apologize if I didn't tell you up front before this, but I apologize. And I'll touch it, going back to the subject before I let you go, because I know that you're really busy, and it's a quick interview. What is your what do you think that is the solution? What do you think that is the solution for these people that they're coming in a vast number? That they're coming in a vast number by hundreds of thousands. In my perspective, I think that the solution is that their own government need to tell them, first of all, what is asylum and what is a refugee, and also if they're apply or not. So they will not be on this long journey, and they get over here. And they are all disappointed, and then now they're blaming the government of the United States, and they're blaming Mexico, but it's because they're not getting, the reality of the information in their own country.
I will agree with you, and it's I don't know to what point their government will do such a thing, because they running from their government. So, but perhaps new regulations must be implemented. Because unfortunately, these people, I believe, in their innocence, in their desperation, they listening to people that are just taking advantage of them, and that's something that we're losing control of, because we don't even know who are they. A lot of these people get away; they run away with monies, and it's a whole new business going around, illegal business, and perhaps that's something that regulations must be implemented to work on, and unfortunately all these people they're running away from very severe situations, and with a hope that they're going to better their lives, and unfortunately they don't know what they have to go through. We know that there's so many people, even the children, have died in their way to reach the United States, and perhaps they have spent the last penny they had in their pockets, and they're not going to get what they expecting, what they have been told or promised by all these people. So we hope that perhaps organizations, truthful organizations, they work in providing information. I guess information is such valuable resource for everyone, not just the immigrants, but everyone that has to do something in their lives, because without information or without the right information, we can be making wrongful decisions that for many people in these cases are costing their lives.
Last question, and I agree with you on what you're saying. But last question I want to ask you and tell me if it is a yes or no question, because as a perspective, in the perspective as a lawyer, immigration reform, does it need to happen or not?
I will say yes, because there is not everyone is a criminal. Not everyone is to take advantage. There's real cases. There's real situations out there. There is so many situations that, regardless, at one point, these situations were allowed. Of course, that we don't pay much attention. We don't do much when things, they're not in a mass. Right now, things are in a mass. And that's perhaps why everyone has opened their eyes and they're trying to do something now. But there is people that we're talking about several years ago when those situations were available, where there was no much restriction or regulations. So perhaps there is a group of people that requires a reform. But part of that reform or that new regulations has to do to avoid these things from happening. So yeah, it's a mix. But if I have to say yes or no, my answer would be yes.
Thank you so much, Giovanna. Where can people find you? They can find your page for legal advice, and
yes, of course.
You can tell us a little bit about your page.
Right. They can look for me at my website, which is ggallolegal.com, and that is spelled GALLO.legal.com. And if they want, my number is 619-460-8900. And of course, I also have a Facebook page, which is the Law Office of Giovanna Gallo. They can find information. They contact me directly through those sources.
Well, thank you so much, Giovanna, for giving me this time. I appreciate it so much. You're a really nice lady, and I hope that everything goes good. I hope that I can talk to you later if I have an immigration doubt about what is going on. Thank you so much. I send you a big hug, and thank you again.
Thank you. Of course. Bye-bye.
Bye. For everybody, that was Giovanna Gallo, and there was two immigration lawyer from the United States. She's a lawyer in the United States, so it's really important that we get that lawyer's perspective in here, man, from the United States. I can get a Mexican lawyer right here. I got family that they are lawyers right here. And we were talking about, we were talking to Giovanna Gallo. I asked a couple questions to her that they're really important questions. First of all, what is going on with all this asylum seeking now? What is going on with all these asylum seeking? And she stated something that is really important for everybody. And I think that was a great point that she made. Asylum seekers need to understand the term asylum. What is asylum? And really that they need to know the difference between asylum and refugee. First off. Second of all, not all of them qualify for asylum. Not all of them. And they're coming by mass of numbers. So that is an unbelievable mistake of the own government of these people where they're coming from. Also, we talked about the nonprofit organizations and lawyers that they are coming from the United States and giving legal advice. Now, she said there's a treaty between America and Mexico that can come lawyers from the States and give and help legal advice, but not to gain advantage of. That is a total different subject. You can come and give legal advice, but she immediately, when I told her, well, there's nonprofit organizations and there's there's people over here, giving out sheets that says, legal advice, and you go and they tell you, this is what you need to do to apply for asylum and all that stuff. That's wrong. That is wrong. A lawyer's perspective from the United States. That is wrong, she said. You can come and just give legal advice and then go, but you don't stay here. And you don't do that for days and days and days. You don't do that. That's encouraging. That's motivating. Because not all of them qualify. So you should tell all of the majority of them they don't have a case. Why they're giving false hope. And last question that I ask her, for the people that are just joining, you can go and see the interview with Giovanna Gallo, a lawyer from the United States. Last question that I asked her was, do we need immigration reform or not? She said yes. Yes. For several, different points. There's people that they need a second chance. And there's and the law and immigration in the United States needs to reaffirm itself and needs to be established as the strongest law in the world, because this is the United States of America. It's not just Mexico. It's not just Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Africa, Cameroon, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Somalia, Morocco. This is the United States of America. It's supposed to be the strongest immigration, most organized, most efficient law that exists in the world. And it's not. And it's not. And I asked that question about this, nonprofit organizations and lawyers over here. And she was really specific. There's a treaty where they can come and give legal advice. Yes, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, get your own posse, get helpers, get this, so you can tell everybody where to get it. Like, no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You can come and help, but not in a vast number. You come in with a whole posse. So who in the? I think that is a disrespect to our Constitution and to our law. And she said, yes, it is. As a lawyer from America, I think that we needed to do that. We needed to get a lawyer's perspective on everything. On everything from America. A lawyer's perspective in America can tell you what exactly is going on with lawyers that they're over here. And also the perspective of what is asylum seeker and what is the most important thing, a definition so they can know between asylum and refugee. And I told her, do you think that the solution is for their own government to be, giving them legal advice over there so they can know if they qualified or not? Saying, well, they're running away from their government. So I don't think that is a solution. But who's the country that is supposed to be responsible for them? It's Mexico. So Mexico, when they enter Tapachula, Tabasco, Yucatan, Veracruz, Oaxaca, Chetumal, they need to have people there to be checking their asylum, if they qualify or not. They should be having personnel over there at the entrance of Chiapas so they can say, here it is. You're going to stay in the intake, and from there, you're going to ask the asylum. Yes, you need to go to that office and see if you're qualified or not, so you will not have to go all the way to Tapachula, to all the way to the border and cause problems. But no, they're not doing that. Why? Because there's a lot of money with human trafficking. huge money with human trafficking, and they're not going to stop. All these coyotes, all these organizations, all these nonprofit organizations that they're going all the way to the south, but they're telling them that it's okay. You know, so it's not. They need to understand that we need to laws for all these. A lot of people, a lot of activists think that laws are made to be broken. If you think that, take it in your country. Over here, we have a situation that is a lot of poverty, a lot of corruption. And regarding immigration, Mexicans are really, it's really hard for them to get the asylum. It's really hard for them. So I believe that one solution will be, if the federal government is really going to pay for all this, like I just saw a few hours ago, that we were talking about this tent that they have, like federal workers not right now with federal funds that they're advising and telling immigrants what canalizing them to which shelter they should go. If we're putting that, why don't we put those kind of tents, but over there at the border at Tapachula? And when they are there at the border at Tapachula, checking and seeing, why are you coming over here to Mexico? I'm coming here for the asylum. Okay, you're coming here for the asylum. Let me just ask you this question. Do you know what asylum means? All right, you're running away. Let me see if you're qualified or not. These are the cases where they show that you're similar to your case, and this is your case. Well, you have a 3% chance of qualifying. I'm sorry. That's it. It should be like that. But no, they're letting them all flee and come in a caravan. And for God's sake, it's called a caravan. What do you expect when it's called a caravan? It's not just people searching for asylum. It's called a caravan, una caravana. What do you think? It is amazing. That was a good interview, people. I think that was a good interview. Let me put my glasses on because I'm about to read your comments. I'm about to read your comments so we can start with your opinions on what you heard right now regarding the interview with a lawyer from the United States. Questions, everyone that wants to ask. I want to say hi to JBIP News, also to Terry Mall, also to Joe Garcia, also to C Grills. So I want to see if you guys got any questions before I go. Thank you so much for being with me on this feed. If you missed the beginning, BK for Truth, how you doing, man? If you missed the beginning, I will upload it right now so you guys can see it. I was waiting for people on the feed. Really, I waited for like 5 minutes. We had only like 2-3 people, and I was like, "Where is everybody?" The store too. Wish you could go back to that spot where you confronted those 3 activists and see if they are still in there. I think one name was, yes, I might have misspelled it. Yes, we don't want to drop those names over here. Yes, I know what you're talking about, the store too. And they're there. They haven't moved from there. They're doing their activism. Now, I don't got a problem with you going over there and helping people to eat. I don't got a problem with that. What I got a problem is why you giving advice to where to go and get legal advice. That's where I got a problem. Like, that is not your job. Really, that is not your job. But, I wish that I could sit down with one of them and have a civil conversation, that I can listen to what his point of view is, and he can tell me, you know what, this is what I'm doing. This is what I represent. And this is why I'm here. And I can tell him, this is what I represent. This is what I'm doing. And this is why I'm fighting. This is why I'm exposing that our government is the most corrupt government in the world, probably. So I will love to sit down and have a civil conversation, not insulting each other. After that, you can get up and stand on the other side of the corner and just say, "F you," okay, whatever. But right now, having a civil conversation, I wish that I could, so I can understand what he's saying, and he can basically understand what am I about. Terry Moll says, Oscar, that shelter you show us yesterday for the caravan coming, are they going to take the deportees too? Yes. That is the problem that I'm talking about. I was just adding numbers a few minutes ago, a couple hours ago. I was telling you that shelter has the capacity for 5,000 without the parking lot. They have the capacity for 5,000 now. Let me just give you a number. I asked the person that it was right there, that is a federal worker now, that is taking numbers of how many people they're getting deported, and they're canalizing migrants to certain shelters. Citizens for helping immigrants, something like that. So I ask her, how many migrants are being deported every day? And she's saying between 30, 80, or 100 on a good day. So let's just say 80. Give or take 80 per day. That's 6 days, because on Sundays, I think they don't deport. 6 days, that's 480. 500, let's say, per week. But let's say 500 per week, 4 weeks, that's 2,000. In 3 months, that's 6,000. That they're going to be awaiting for another number to go back. And the another number, it takes between 4 to 6 months. So you're going to have 6,000 in 3 months, plus what it's coming from the South, plus what is all around that they want to go live over there, and they don't want to go. They don't want to stay still on the other shelters that they were at. So it's not going to be 5,000. It's going to be more than that. So that parking lot that you got outside, that parking lot, believe me, is going to be filled with tents, full with tents. That parking lot, if you guys remember the shelter that it was named El Barretal, that it was all the way to the east of the city, it had capacity for 1,500. That parking lot is 3 times bigger than El Barretal. So it's 4,500. So probably we're going to have like 10,000 people right there at that particular spot. I'm not panicking. I'm just giving just a random number, because the asylum number is not going to happen like that. No, it's not. No, it's not. So what is going to happen? They're creating a crisis so they can get more federal funds and actually destabilize the economy of the United States and force them to open their doors. Force them to open their doors so that way the United States caves in into what is open borders. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. It's out of sight. So we had a lawyer today that I believe that it was really important to hear her out on what is her side of her perspective in terms of legal migration. And the question that I asked her, do we need immigration? The United States, I'm sorry, does the United States need immigration reform? I'm not in the United States, I'm not an American. Does the United States need immigration reform? Does the United States need immigration reform? And she said, yes. Why? Because there's a lot of laws that they're wrong. And the United States needs to be the number one country that has the most organized, without loopholes, immigration law in the world. So I will accept your questions before I go, because I got to do the Mexican feed also. I want to ask some questions for everybody. And I'm going to take some questions. I will also want to tell you that if you guys want to call me and we can talk on Messenger and put you on the phone right here and put you on the line right here. Here's my profile, Oscar Blue Ramirez. You can call me, send me a message before, and you say, you know what, I want to be in the line. I want to be in the line because I want to ask you something. Well, I want to get something out of my chest. That is the profile that you guys can send me a message, and I can put you right here and you can blast the microphone, man. That right there. I will wait, 5 minutes to see if somebody wants to be on the line, and if somebody wants to send me a message. So I got Messenger right here, and we got Messenger right here. So I'm just waiting for you guys. Whoever wants to send me a message, I'm right here. I want to say hi to Alan. Alan, what's going on, Alan? Big Dog, what's going on? I want to say hi to Teresa Mole, Terry Mole. Also, C Grills. Whoa, you are so brave. No, I'm just giving out information, but thank you so much. Latest 45, they're already releasing them in America with or without our knowledge. Yes, that is happening. We know. And I think that it's not even with or without your knowledge, it's with or without your consent. Like, they don't care. Like, I don't care if the Americans, the real Americans, that they live in the United States. I don't care if the real, this Americans, that they pay the American tax dollar. We don't care. We're going to release them. JBI, what's his name? P News says, I don't trust others. I'm very picky about who I will trust. Oscar, you made the list of trustworthy. Oh, okay. So I'm honored, man. I'm honored. Really, I don't trust others. I'm very picky about who I'll trust. Oscar, you made the list of trustworthy. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The store too. There's a tunnel right into downtown El Paso. Yes. What about the Africans saying? What about the Africans coming from Congo? I'm worried about the communicable diseases. What we've been getting over here in our city, it's been only people from Cameroon. We haven't heard if we've been getting in a vast number of people from Congo. Yes, there's people that they have been here from Congo, but the most people that we got here is from Cameroon. Regarding Africa, who is the largest number? Which city is the largest number, or country is the largest number that we've been getting from? Is Cameroon. Gary Elmquist says, love you, Oscar, from Washington State. Thanks for all your incredible information. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for somebody to if they want to send me a message so I can put them on the line. I'm right here on Messenger. So if somebody wants to ring me up, I just showed you the profile. Also, Rocky Trobin and says, and you should be comes from a nurse, and you should be. It comes from and you should be comes from a nurse. Okay. Okay, I forgot about the topic that you're talking about, Rocky. Oscar, any update on the Ebola speculation? Okay, this is what happened. There's 3 people that I know that they work on the general hospital. One of them told me that there was this guy that it was showing, showing signals of Ebola. They're containing, but the thing is that probably they already told them that don't say nothing to everybody. So, the thing is that I'm trying to get the information and they don't let you get the information, trying to contain the information as much as possible so the citizens won't be panicking. But I think they're doing wrongly because the citizens need to know what is going on, but they're not telling them. It's the government, man. You already know how it works. So what I can tell you is that just as somebody they're sick over there, but we actually there was signals that they was showing of Ebola, but really we don't know if it is actually Ebola or it's not Ebola. That's the problem. That that they have us on this limbo. It is or not. It is or it's not. Got to go working right now. Bless you, Blue. Thank you for what you're doing. Great reporting. Great. Thank you for listening to us, Alan. Have a great day at work. BK for 2, you can message Oscar. Yes, you can message me at Oscar Blue Ramirez if you want to talk to me for a sec. Also, Donna S says they could be lying about coming from Cameroon. It gives them better chance of being let in. Yeah, you're right. It's like a lot of people in America think that all people that they're illegal or irregular migrants in the United States, they are from Mexico, and they're not. There's a lot of people from Central America that when they present themselves, they say they're Mexican. Have you seen people coming in with flesh-eating bacteria? No, I haven't. Los Angeles has a flesh-eating bacteria problem. It's a lot of infections, man, on the street, and they're living on tents. They're not showering. What do you think is going to happen? Pissed off Patriot says, I love that name. That means that he's really mad, man. That he's a patriot, but he's really mad, man. I love that name, man. A pissed off patriot. POP. I'm gonna call you POP, man. POP man says most from Africa are Congolese people, and that's where the Ebola outbreak is the worst. Yes, I don't know if you saw it, POP, but last week or probably 2 weeks ago, I talked to an immigrant from Cameroon, and I asked him if there was an Ebola outbreak in Cameroon, and he said yes. So we had like 300 of these people from Cameroon over here, and we don't know if they're medically checked. They're saying that they are, but who says that we trust? Who says that they're really checked? Terry Hurtado says, hi, Oscar. Just now arrived. Did the interview with the lawyer happen already? Yes, it happened already. As soon as I finish the feed, you can go and back and watch it. How you doing, Terry? Berta Aguirre said that she actually saw lepra on a person bringing her from Honduras. Berta has seen a lot of things, man. It's not only lepra, it's all kind of diseases, but she's seen a lot of things. Also, Terry Moll, very sad about California. I was born and raised there. It's terrible now. Yeah, it is, and nobody's taking care of it. A person that is really famous in California, last name Newsom, first name Gavin. He's giving away like $25 million to immigrants. So I think that the number one that is being held accountable for all this, for not helping his people and not investing those 25 million somewhere else, you know who do you have like do you think that you can have instead it is a suggestion for me to tell you guys who do you think is the one that is who do you think is the one that is his fault? C Grill says, how are the Mexican people handling this invasion in the country? Bad. Right now, this shelter that is for more than 5,000 people that they're just making, that it was an abandoned place, but it's going to be fixed for all these people. The majority of the Tijuana citizens, they don't want them here. They just did a poll, and all of them said no. All of them. Don't drink the water on the South Shore. Regina St. John says, people of Puerto Rico are protesting again in massive numbers. I need to get on that Puerto Rico subject, man. I need to get on that. I will be talking I will be talking on Sunday with Political Avenger. I will give her a text message to see, and I will call her to see if we can talk about the Puerto Rico. Don't miss the show on Sunday. We're going to talk about this, and don't get into your feelings with me because it is a subject for everybody to know. Why is the number one reason that people from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, they're saying we are going to America to take back what is ours? And the speculation is, and what they're saying in their argument from these people from Central America is that investors from the United States and companies have been taking and stealing minerals and resources from these countries. So that is why they're so angry, and that is why they want to come to America and steal what is theirs. That is what they're saying. So we are going to talk to Political Avenger, and she's going to let us know if what is the problem and if it is a reality or not. And if it is happening. And if it is happening, that is a problem between the United States and Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. That is not a problem between Mexico. Mexico, what has to do with that problem? Nothing. So don't miss that show. And also, we're going to add that subject that we just talked about, the Puerto Rico subject, so she can let us know what is going on in Puerto Rico. All right? California is bad for homeless and disease now. Yeah, it's really bad. Rendarella says, I wonder if someone coached them on that too. They coach on everything, man. Quarterback sneak and everything. You got to coach for everything over here in this immigrant situation, man. You got to coach for everything. Melissa Bridge says, Puerto Rican governor said he will announce his resignation tonight. Talk about a guy that it just blames itself, man. Donna S says, are you sure that they don't mean Mexicans used to live here? Liberal people keep saying to fix what happened long ago. Are you sure they don't mean Mexicans used to live here? If you're talking about the resources, no. That's a different subject. If you're going to be open up that subject, watch out, because if you're talking about a Mexicans saying, you took California from us, you took Texas from us. If you're talking about that specific subject, that is Mexicans. when you're talking about people from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, their argument is that the United States government is the one the United States government and some organizations, they're the ones that they're taking resources and minerals from these people. That's why these people want to take what is theirs back. That has nothing to do with an immigration situation. Yeah, but it pushes poverty and it pushes this. That is a situation between your government and the United States government. It has nothing to do with Mexico, my country, being in the middle and being the sandwich and taking all this punishment of what is happening. That has nothing to do with that. So, that's why I'm referring to that subject. Specific subject. Let's be specific. Let's see right here. David Lynch says they got a judge to stop the order. They can only seek asylum in the next country. I don't understand. I don't follow. I'm sorry, Debbie. But I will analyze your question later on, and I will answer you via text. Amy Lonely Girl 12. The Honduran terrorist has been talking about the USA is being robbing his country since the beginning of the caravans. Yes, I know who you're talking about. But that, believe me, let me tell you something. Mexico lost a war to the United States in the lost territory, California and Texas and New Mexico. That is not the reason why Mexico needs to be organizing caravans and saying, oh, we're going to take back what is ours. That is not a justification. And this justification that they're using is wrong and incorrect. I'm sorry. That's a problem between your governor, your government, and your country letting in investors. And if it is a reality that they're taking away resources, that is the problem between the government of the United States and the government of El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. That is not the problem between the people of America and the people of Mexico, that they're in the middle, and also the people of South America. That is not their problem. That is heads taking care of things. Honduras is also in the UN. Yes, they are in the UN. Shirley Schaefer, is the thumbs up button? Yeah, right there. I think so. Jayita, 1914. Yes, the plan is overcrowd the shelters by the borders and create chaos to force them open. Yes, absolutely correct with you. That's what we've been talking about. Rocking in the Mexico is involved through the UN Pact. Yes, it is involved. They signed it in 2015, and now this president had his chance to take him out and unsign it, and he didn't do that. Guadalupe Huerta, yes, praying is needed. Come on, let's have a prayer day every week. I will consider that, Guadalupe. That's a good idea. Terry Hurtado says, no, it was Mexican land. Yes, it was, but they not took it away. Let's learn about history, people. Let's read about the history that it happened. And next program, I will do a program specifically talking about that subject. How we lost a war and Santana sold our land. Santana did a treaty because back in the day, how you used to arrange wars, it was with money or it was with land. Santana sold the land. He gave it away. Nobody pushed him. He gave it away because he didn't have the money. It is what it is. I don't want to extend myself into history, but we need to understand how, what were the treaties back in the day, how things were arranged back in the day, how wars were provoked back in the day. And that is not an excuse to be forming caravans. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not a justification to be forming caravans. It's not a justification to the resources to be claiming a caravan. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. You're provoking, and you're also. Oh my gosh, Shirley Schaefer. What the hell? Where in the how in the Shirley? Thank you so much, Miss Shirley Schaefer. God bless you. Really. Oh my God. God bless you. And that is not a justification, people. No, it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. Danger, lives in danger, because this caravan has put lives in danger from the south all the way to the north, risking all their lives, risking everything that they have. And you can't be doing that. It says your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. I don't know why we have a back action right now. I think it froze, people. Can someone tell me if the feed is okay or not? I'm live. Okay. I'm live. All right. Because it says reconnecting. I'm sorry. It just appeared on my page. It's reconnecting. I'm sorry. Apologize. I'm going. So for people that are asking that, I will do a show specifically so we can talk about what happened with the war, Mexico and Estados Unidos, and the territory between California, New Mexico, and Texas. And what happened with that? Okay, it's all in the global order plan. Yes, Marcella says that. Thank you so much, Shirley Schaefer. Again, thank you so much. Marcella Richardson says, no, Amy Lonely Girl says, Oscar, look into the gender ideology is coming to Mexico. It's already here. Amy, they try to put, I know what you're talking about. It's already here. It was not that far away. It was already here. Donna S says, yes, okay, she's responding. That is a conversation. I'm messing with somebody else's conversation. Shelley Schaefer, I hope I did the right 100. I told you I wanted to donate, but in Facebook jail, and this is the first chance I've seen. Thank you so much, Miss Shirley Schaefer. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's see. What else? Who else we got right here? So I'm waiting for somebody. They want to, talk to me on the live feed, but apparently, you guys are afraid or something. Rocky NT says the UN agenda is behind of all of this. Yes, we already, go and watch my watch parties. If you got Facebook, go watch my watch parties that I do late at night, man. I do some watch parties, really crazy watch parties. And I just did one with the UN Pact. I just did one. Pretty interesting. Really interesting. The Vatican has to do a lot of things with it and all this stuff. So, let's watch that. Okay. Well, okay, everyone. I must go. It was a really nice feed. Really clean feed. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me. It was a good interview also. Giovanna Gallo, follow her as she said at her page, and Facebook page, Giovanna Gallo, law attorney. And she basically explained to all of us that, yes, there should be immigration reform. They should be immigration reform for the United States. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you guys. I need to do the Mexican feed right now. Thank you so much. We need to talk about, the shelter and all that stuff. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you guys. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you for being with me. It's 6:04 over here in Tijuana, Oaxaca, California, in the West Coast time. Stay safe, and always remember, peace and love, everyone, because always your country is first. Thank you.